Hi. Wow, I'm gay. Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, I actually, I just kind of wanted to see how your reaction would compare to my dad's. It took me a while to figure out that I was gay. Netflix actually figured it out before I did. I started getting these recommendations, movies featuring a strong female lead. That's how it starts. Movies featuring a strong female lead where all the male characters die. Movies featuring Jodie Foster and no one else. Other TV shows based on your very obvious interest in women. I guess like in hindsight though, I should have realized sooner that I was not attracted to men, given that the way I feel when I look at men is the same way I feel when I look at like boiled corn. Like it's fine. And objectively, some corn is better looking than other corn. And I'm never like mad about it when it shows up on my plate, but I'm also never like, oh yay, corn. I also wasn't in a rush to come out because I was living in North Carolina at the time, and you know, it's true what they say about being gay in the South. Don't. A bad Tinder date for me in North Carolina was not like, oh, she was so boring. It was like, oh, she was an undercover evangelical operative. Sent to tell me that by choosing homosexuality, I was condemning myself to eternal damnation. 2 times that happened, you guys. And one of those times, the girl also called me fat. Which, like, first of all, chastity. How dare you, okay? One time I was walking down the street and this homeless guy was like, yo, somebody feed that skinny white bitch a burger, so... Some people say I'm like too pretty to be gay. I don't know if you guys agree that I'm pretty. I'm just saying it's like an objective fact that some people feel that way. I take a lot of selfies. It's like my way of giving back. I don't know why you guys are laughing. I'm just like a really good person. I was contacted by a casting director recently on Instagram, and he was like, I have a role that you would be perfect for. As soon as I saw your photos, I was like, damn, she looks so... And like, you guys, maybe I'm just cocky, but I fully expected him to say stunning. He was like, damn, she looks so much like a cop. So I'm like, okay, I assume this movie is about a female police officer with a heart of gold and flawless skin. And he's like, oh, no, you'd just be an extra. Yeah. We need someone burly to wrestle like 4 dudes into a cop car. So I was like, when? So I did it, and it was totally worth it because I got my first speaking line in a feature film. Thank you. It's right at the end. I'm like pushing this guy into a cop car, and the whole time he's doing this, he's like, like, okay, for those of you who don't know, that's actually like a sexual gesture. So we're all on the same page. Okay, so my line, which I memorized, practiced, and will perform for you now, goes as follows. That is not even how you eat pussy. If you're going to do it right, pal. Thank you. You can hear me say that line in select theaters this fall, or you can hear my mother loudly sobbing about it right now. No, but seriously, you guys should all check out the movie. It's super diverse. Scarlett Johansson's in it. She plays Native American triplets. She's just really doing her part, you know? There's this new thing, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, it's called like float therapy. Have you guys done this? Yeah, it's like they put you in an isolation tank with water and just like 1,000 pounds of sea salt. Literally 1,000 pounds of sea salt. I tried it the other day, and honestly, you guys, like it completely lived up to the hype. It is absolutely an amazing way to just find out how many tiny tears you have in your asshole. About hit the top of that isolation tank. In better news for my asshole, I have a girlfriend. Perfect segue, thank you. She is awesome and amazing, and ironically was raised evangelical. Yeah, her name is Chastity. Crazy neat cute. You guys would not believe the story. Now, I'm like mostly certain at this point that she's not dating me as part of some long con to get me to convert. They like to test her every once in a while just to be sure. Like I'll stand naked next to a Bible and see what she reaches for first. When we first started dating, we were like really careful to avoid all those classic lesbian stereotypes. You know, like no one brought a U-Haul to the first date. We waited till the second. People have been telling us though that we're starting to look alike, and I think it's because we have a habit of wearing matching outfits. And you know, it's absolutely true what they say about couples who dress alike. You guys have heard this saying, right? Yeah, they make everyone around them extremely uncomfortable. It's almost like people don't want to see twins in romantic love or something. I don't know. I have come up with a list of tips for anyone who needs some help telling us apart, though, which I will go over that with you now. Hint number 1, she's black. If that's not enough hints for you, like I really don't know what to tell you. We did move in together, which is amazing, but the process was terrible. And you know, I think moving is so awful because you have all these problems and frustrations that come up when you're moving, but like as soon as you go to vent to anyone about them, immediately that person kind of shuts you down and is just like, oh, I know, moving is the worst, right? It's like having a fart, like really badly, and like right before you're about to release the fart, someone just like steals your asshole. That's what moving is. So we did it. Our new place is super nice, but there's been a ton of construction outside. So the other day I suggested that we get a white noise machine. And my girlfriend was like, why would we get a white noise machine when I could just listen to you talk? So I was like, touche. But that night, right as she was about to doze off, in my whitest voice, I read the following. Pumpkin, spice, everything. New Balance sneakers. The movie Juno. Unpaid internships. Pottery Barn's semi-annual sale. It turns out I am a white noise machine, and we saved like $59. My parents have been like pressuring us a lot lately, like when are you gonna have kids? So last time my mom asked me in a family group text, like when are you and Maya gonna have kids? I responded in all caps, we're trying every night, I don't know what we're doing wrong. And then I watched for like 3 hours as like the little text dots appeared and disappeared, appeared and disappeared. Like I could see my parents being like, should you tell her? Should I tell her? And like 12 hours later, my mom just texted me, okay, honey. It's tricky though. It's tricky because like neither of us really wants to like physically carry a baby, right? Like we just kind of feel like the weight we already have is enough. But it also kind of feels like an asshole, like asking someone to be our surrogate, right? I mean, that's like having 2 cars that you just don't feel like driving and asking to borrow someone else's. I also just like, I have a lot of concerns about like what kind of parent I would be because my parents were so weird. Like growing up, if I asked my dad for anything, like even something small like his iTunes password, he would respond, I was born to a janitor in Soweto, the poorest township in Johannesburg, South Africa. My classmates chased me home every day, beat me. My sister would rescue me from my classmates, but then she'd beat me too. My family couldn't afford toothpaste, so we'd use ash from the braai. No, you may not have my iTunes password. It's like, Jesus Christ, Dad, you like drive me to the mall? I was born to a janitor. I remember like one time my mom crying because my dad wanted to get rid of all of our like real hardwood floors and replace them with like fake linoleum floors. And he was like, Bitsy, what you have to understand is any poor man can walk into the forest and cut down as much wood as he wants for free, provided he has an axe. But you have to be a very rich man to pay another man to make wood for you from nothing but chemicals. I was in an audition recently, and they asked me if I could do an Irish accent, and I was like, I mean, I can do a South African accent, I can do anything, right? So I step forward with 100% confidence and say, "Welcome to Ireland. I am apparently a Jamaican hostess." They were like, "That was so great. Let's try it one more time. This time Irish." And I was like, "I think we got it." I recently had this really profound revelation that I shared with my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, do you think everyone's like technically a psychic because you can read your own thoughts?" Might have been really high when I had this revelation. She was like, "I don't know, babe. Are you like technically an organ donor because you provided your own organs?" I was like, oh my God. I've been a hero this whole time. I'm just too humble to realize it. All right, let me leave you guys with this. I think it's so important in a relationship to really like push and challenge each other to grow. So I recently challenged my girlfriend to give up gluten and dairy, mainly because I knew the only thing she'd be able to eat is my pussy. You guys, she is starving, but I have never been happier. Thank you so much.